humans love curved shapes. It seems deeply ingrained in all of us from birth. A 2011 eye tracking study found that at 5 months of age, before they utter a word or scribble a drawing, infants already show a clear visual preference for contoured lines over straight lines. But in the digital world, drawing perfect curves is not that easy. Over the years, designers have developed methods, and the cubic Bézier curve is probably the most famous one. For example, this cloud has been drawn with 5 cubic Bézier curves. If you've never encountered a cubic Bézier curve, it works like this. The curve is defined by 4 control points. The first point defines the start of the curve, the last point defines the end of the curve, and the 2 other points shape the curve. Pairs of points are joined to form handles. It's just an intuitive way to manipulate the curve. To understand how it works, let's define a parameter t, so that t equals 0 at the start of the curve and t equals 1 at the end of the curve. Now imagine you're in space and you see an asteroid whose trajectory is influenced by the gravity of the 4 nearby planets. This is exactly what is happening here. The 4 planets are the 4 control points. Their gravities are something that you can't see. That is, each control point has an associated weight ranging from 0 to 1. The only difference is that the gravity is fixed, whereas the weight evolves with our parameter t, meaning that the weights are functions of t. Now in space, planets have astronomical coordinates. Here we can define a coordinate system and get the coordinates of each control point. Now the asteroid is obviously the pointer and its trajectory is a curve. The pointer draws the curve, so how do we know the position of the pointer at any moment? Well, if you know how to multiply and add, you're almost there. For each point, we multiply the weight by the coordinates. We all add it up and we get the coordinates of the pointer. That's it. To better understand the mechanism, let's encode the weights with circles. The larger the circles, the greater the weights. Okay, let's slow down a bit. At t equals 0, all the weight is on the first control point, so the pointer coincides with it. As t increases, the second point gains influence, so the pointer goes up. The weights on the 2 last points are still low. At t equals 1/3, the weight on the second point is at its highest value and starts to decline. The third point gains influence, so the pointer shifts to the right. At t equals 2/3, the weight on the third point is at its highest value and starts in turn to decline. As the last point gains influence, the pointer goes down. And finally, at t equals 1, all the weight is on the last point, so the pointer coincides with it. In a nutshell, the curve is a result of a perfectly synchronized ballet. Now, if you wonder where do these weights come from, here are the equations on top of the graphics. They are polynomial functions. In a way, we are drawing with polynomials. On the graphics, you can clearly see the slow decrease on the first point, the rise and fall on the 2 middle points, and the slow increase in the last point. What if we aim for a more exotic curve? The weight functions stay the same, but because the position of some control points is different, the pointer draws a new curve. So far so good, but I wanted to give you a test of what it's like to manipulate a cubic Bézier curve. So let's try a little experiment. On the description below, click on the link. On the website you get the explorable explanation of the video, meaning that it's interactive. You can move the control points, play with the t parameter, and observe the mechanism at your own pace. And when you're a master of the cubic Bézier curve, it's time to play with the sandbox. Step 1, the shape. You add some segments with the plus button and remove them with the minus button. Let's draw a very simple shape. When you're satisfied with your drawing, step 2, customization. Let's warm a bit this little heart. Let's add a touch of pink to the curve. Let's color the shadow in a vibrant violet. And let's warm a bit the background. Right, now if you're a perfectionist, you can correct the shape and go back to the customization. Not so bad. Finally, if you want to immortalize your piece of art, go to download and download your masterpiece. You can even share it on your preferred social media. Now it's up to you, unleash your creativity. As for me, that's all for today. Thanks for watching.